Have you ever met someone and felt something you haven't felt in a long time? You feel attracted. You feel seen. The conversations flow. They text you first. They call. They say all the right things. And for the first time in a while, you let yourself get a little hopeful. You start imagining what this could turn into. You replay your conversations in your head. You feel yourself getting attached. And then, something shifts. Their energy changes. Their messages get shorter. They reply slower. They stop saying the intense romantic things they were saying at the start. You can feel them pulling away. And suddenly your brain goes into overdrive. What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Did I scare him away? Should I fix it? Should I fight for this? If this feels familiar, you're not crazy and you're not alone. There are real psychological reasons why this happens. In this video, we're going to talk about why he might be pulling away when you start to get close, why it hits you so hard when he does, and how to respond in a way that protects your self-respect instead of destroying it. Let's start by naming the pattern. In the beginning, he's all in. He's consistent. He's affectionate. He gives you attention. He makes you feel chosen. Then, as soon as your feelings deepen and you start to relax into it, he begins to pull back. Less communication, less effort, more excuses, more "I've just been busy" energy. What makes this so painful is not just the distance, it's the contrast. Your nervous system went from "this feels safe and exciting" to "something is wrong and I don't know what." And when we don't know what changed, we almost always blame ourselves. But there are deeper psychological dynamics happening here, on his side and on your side. Before we talk about him, we have to talk about you for a moment. One big reason this situation feels so intense is because very quickly, you may have made him too important in your mind. You started to build a story around him. This could be my person. I haven't felt this way in so long. What if I don't meet anyone like this again? Without even realizing it, you emotionally promoted him to a very high position in your life, before he had truly earned it and before you had enough information about who he really is. When we place someone on a pedestal too fast, two things happen at the same time. Their perceived value goes up in our mind, and our perceived value goes down in theirs. On a subconscious level, they start to think, why am I already this important to her? She barely knows me. I haven't actually done that much for her life yet. So what's really going on here? That's when your energy begins to feel intense to them. Not because you're a bad person, but because you've emotionally jumped 10 steps ahead. Why do we make someone so important so quickly? Usually, it's not love. It's three deeper forces. Number 1, scarcity. If you rarely meet people you actually like, or you believe love is hard to find, then the moment you feel a spark with someone, your brain says, "This is rare. Don't lose it. Do anything to keep it." Suddenly, that one person becomes special in your mind before you even know if they're emotionally healthy for you. Number 2, impatience. Maybe you're tired of being single. You're tired of starting over. You don't want to wait anymore. So when someone seems promising, you emotionally fast forward the relationship in your head. You start acting like they are already your person, even though you barely know them. Number 3, low self-esteem. If deep down you struggle to see your own value, it's easy to believe that someone like him is an opportunity you can't afford to lose. So you overvalue what he brings, his looks, his charm, the way he makes you feel. And you undervalue what you bring, your loyalty, your emotional depth, your consistency. When that happens, you naturally slip into overgiving, overproving, and overchasing. And that is exactly the kind of energy that makes many people pull away. Let's talk about a sentence that should immediately make you pause. There's just something about him. You might say, I don't even know why I'm this attracted to him. There's just something about him. It sounds romantic, but in psychology, that feeling can be a red flag. Very often, there's just something about him means an old wound is being activated. There is a familiar emotional chaos that your body recognizes. There might even be a trauma bond starting to form. You're not necessarily attracted to his healthy partner qualities. You might be attracted to his unpredictability, his emotional distance, and the push-pull dynamic that reminds you of old patterns. Healthy attraction sounds very different. It sounds like, he is kind, he is consistent, he follows through on his words, he makes me feel calmer, not more anxious, he respects my boundaries, he shows up when it's inconvenient, not just when it's easy. Chemistry, deep conversations, charisma, amazing sex, all of these can feel incredible. But on their own, they do not prove that someone is ready and willing to build a real relationship with you. When your attraction is based on something you can't explain, be careful. Sometimes our nervous system calls old pain chemistry. Now, what could be happening on his side when he pulls away? There isn't one universal answer, but here are 3 common psychological reasons. First, avoidant attachment and fear of closeness. For some men, emotional intimacy doesn't feel safe. Maybe they grew up around criticism, chaos, or emotional neglect. So when someone gets close and starts to truly see them, their nervous system doesn't go, "This is love." It goes, "This is danger." Your desire for clarity, consistency, and commitment can feel like pressure, control, or loss of freedom to them. So they distance themselves to feel safe again. Second, he likes attention more than responsibility. Some men enjoy being desired. They love the chase, the flirtation, the feeling of being wanted. But when it comes time to actually show up consistently, they disappear. They want the validation, without the emotional responsibility of a real relationship. So when your energy shifts from "this is fun" to "I want something real," he backs off. Third, shame and "I'm not good enough" beliefs. Some men pull away not because they don't like you, but because deep down they don't feel worthy of you. They're afraid that if you really get to know them, you'll see their flaws and leave. So they create distance first. In all 3 cases, notice something important. His pulling away is about his internal world, not proof that you're unlovable. Now let's talk about the part you can control. How you respond when you feel him pulling away. Your nervous system will want to chase. It will want to double text, explain, overgive, and prove yourself. But every time you fight for someone who is pulling away from you, you send yourself this message: my worth depends on whether he chooses me. Instead, match his effort. If he slows down, you slow down. Not to play games, but to create space for the truth to reveal itself. If he cares and is emotionally ready, he will feel the distance and come toward you. If he doesn't, his silence becomes your answer. Then recenter your value. Remind yourself, I am not valuable because someone is consistent with me. I am valuable whether they show up or not. My consistency, loyalty, empathy, and emotional availability are rare. Not everyone deserves access to that. When he pulls away, let that be a moment of evaluation, not a moment of desperation. Instead of thinking, How do I get him back? Ask, do I actually want a partner who disappears as soon as things get real? When someone pulls away, your brain gets tunnel vision. All you can think about is them. Gently pull your energy back. Pour into your friendships. Reconnect with hobbies and routines that make you feel grounded. Work on your own emotional healing and self-worth. The more full and meaningful your own life feels, the less power one inconsistent person has over your nervous system. If you're going through this right now, here is what I want you to take away. Him pulling away is not automatic proof that you are too much, too needy, or not enough. Very often, it's proof that he is not ready for the level of intimacy and consistency you desire, and that there are parts of you that are still learning not to overvalue crumbs of attention. Your job is not to convince someone to come closer. Your job is to become so grounded in your own value that anyone who is unsure about you automatically becomes less attractive. Be curious about your patterns. Notice when you say, "There's just something about him." Ask yourself, is this chemistry? Or is this my old pain calling me back to what's familiar? You deserve more than someone who only shows up halfway. If you want to understand these patterns on a deeper level, attachment styles, trauma bonds, relationship anxiety, and start choosing healthier love, make sure you subscribe and watch my other videos on emotionally unavailable partners and toxic dynamics. Be gentle with yourself. You're not broken. You're just learning to stop calling inconsistency love.